Hey everyone, Sensei Victoria Whitfield here from victoriawhitfield.com for your weekly love letter. This week I was asking the energy, what do we need to know? And immediately I got psychic self-defense. What is that? So, do you ever have the feeling that when someone is telling you their story and perhaps they're telling you a really difficult story, very emotional thing that's going on with their life, you're just trying to listen to their story, but it's coming into you? Like as they tell you, oh, and someone did this to me, and I felt this way, and now I'm depressed, or I'm really struggling with feeling XYZ, or I have a pain in my jaw or in my shoulder. All these things that they're describing to you, you're listening, but you're not just listening, you're absorbing. So as they're describing these things that are happening to them, or that has happened to them, the drama, you begin enthralled with the drama and you start trying to figure it out with them. Or as they start describing you the pain in their shoulder, suddenly your shoulder starts feeling that way as well. So what I want to let you know is that if that happens to you, number one, you need to know that you are an empath. You are an empath. This is a form of communication that is non-verbal, non-visual, non-auditory. This is simply from that person's energy to your energy is a communication going on. So that is your empathic sense picking up on and communicating with their energy. It's totally natural, and that's actually a sense that, although it may feel like it can be a curse at first, if you learn how to harness it, and that's what I teach here at the dojo, if you learn how to harness your empathic sense, it can be your greatest asset. One thing that can help you, though, with harnessing your empathic sense is shielding. So we need psychic self-defense if we're particularly empathic in nature. If you're sensitive to picking up on energetic and emotional information coming off of people, not just people, but also animals, spaces, and objects. So, for example, you're empathic and energetically sensitive if you can't watch one of those animal cruelty videos because you feel it. Let's not even go there. I know that you started feeling that because I did too. So, every week I also ask the oracle cards, is there any other insight that you can offer on this topic? The deck that I'm using this week is Doreen Virtue's Angel Therapy. Great deck. And as always, if you want to pull oracle cards for yourself, come on over to the dojo. They are free to pull. I have 6 different decks here for use before or after your personal Reiki session, or before or after the group meditation classes, or at one of the retreats, the monthly retreats I hold here. So the oracle card that came out to contribute to our conversation about psychic self-defense and particularly shielding is listen to your intuitive feelings. And it says here, your body is receiving accurate messages from the divine. Okay? So this is to give you confirmation that yes, you are an empath. Go ahead and Google empath, send me an email back and say, Victoria, what exactly are you talking about being an empath? Is that the same as having empathy for somebody? The answer is no, by the way, and I can tell you exactly why. Just send me an email back or comment below. And I'm going to read more of the description out of the book for you. Your angels want you to know that when you're always They want you to know that you're always receiving divine messages, even when you're not noticing them. Most of these messages come through your physical and emotional senses, as your body is extremely sensitive to subtle energies. Sometimes you may not understand your feelings, yet they have always been accurate and are coming from underlying wisdom. You've received this card because you've asked a question that your body has already answered through your emotional and physical feelings. By the way, the question that I asked was, what do we need to know this week? And then it was psychic self-defense. So I asked, what do we need to know about psychic self-defense? So it's already been answered because we're talking about being an empath. It's dead on. The oracle cards are always right on point. It's really beautiful. It's an amazing tool. Your urge to trust your feelings and act upon them without delay. Ask the angels to protect and guide you, which they do through your intuitive sensations. Okay? So, this is more than just trusting your gut, listening to your intuitive feelings. The message that's coming through from this card, I'm beginning to channel it, is that don't just trust your gut, guard it. And the way that you're going to guard it this week is by doing psychic self-defense, one technique being shielding. So think of shielding as something that protects you and doesn't block information from coming in, but instead filters it and tempers the intensity of the information that's coming through. So maybe you do want to understand what that person is saying when they're describing pain in their body. For example, if you are a physical therapist or a massage therapist or a body worker of any kind, it's really good to be able to communicate body to body, energy to energy. Because the person comes in and says, oh, I'm fine, but when they tell you they're fine, you feel and you feel jaw, and you feel headache and heart. You get the sensation straight from their body. So when they say they're fine, you're like, uh-huh. And you know what your whole game plan is because you have that inside information. It's an example of why being an empath is actually empowering. It's not a curse. So in order to receive that information, though, without being overwhelmed, because empathic overwhelm, as we've discussed before, is really a serious issue, you want to shield to temper the, turn down the intensity, as in temper, the information that's coming through, as well as filter out any, I wouldn't say negative, I would just say harmful. Filter out any harmful information that's coming through or things that are trying to attach to you. We don't want that, right? So, listen to your intuitive feelings. They're coming through for a purpose to really cue you in, but guard them. And let me show you, put this down, let me show you how to set up a basic shield for psychic self-defense. Now, whenever you're doing energy work and you haven't been attuned to it, one way that you can wake up the energy chakras in your hands, by the way, you find it by putting your middle finger down like this. The Chinese call this the Lao Gong. This is the energy center in your hand that sends as well as reads energy, right? So the way that you warm up your hands, if you haven't been attuned to channeling energy, is by rubbing them together, like so. And really, you can do this at home as you're watching. And you rub them together until it starts to feel friction, hot, and tingling. And then once you get that, you stop and move them just a little bit apart, right? And allow your hands to be relaxed. Don't be erect the whole time. And it'll feel tingly or slightly magnetic. Either a pull towards or pushing your hands apart. That's the energy of your body beginning to channel. Once you have that, close your eyes and visualize as you move your hands, sending white light all around yourself. Really just visualize putting up a bubble of white light all around you. And as I'm sending this, I'm getting chills. So I know that that's the confirmation to say that this is something very big and important to let you know how to do. So as you send this light around you, send it also with the intention, may only my highest good come through. I am fully and divinely protected. May all harmful energies be filtered out, and only my highest good come through this shield. Okay? So, and the minute you do that, I already feel a change. You'll feel the sense of being protected and also more balanced. You want to do this before you go into a conversation with somebody or into a difficult meeting, or before you go into a very high energy or very stressful environment, perhaps even going out into a concert or a large gathering of people before stepping off the train or stepping onto the train to go into the city. You want to do this to protect from the energy out there. Just rub your hands together. Remember, feel the magnetic pull or push and that tingling between your hands, and then use that to send the white light all around you. Very basic shielding. Now, there are advanced techniques in shielding that I would be happy to teach you. If you have been doing shielding and it's not quite working out for you, some people have problems with this because they have trouble visualizing, send me an email back. I'd be happy to coach you and give you suggestions. By the way, I said white light, seeing that. That's all around good for shielding. But you can do any color that you like, that you feel the most protected and powerful in seeing. Some people even put up what looks like a mirror. So, whatever comes at me bounces back and goes towards you. Caveat, sometimes you want the information to be able to get through. So if you set up shields that are like, everybody can't get in, that means nobody can get through. You'll shut down your ability to receive information. So I really highly recommend that you set up shields that are filtering and intelligent. The energy is a living, intelligent being. Talk to it. You can program your shields and ask them to intensify when ask them to be able to intensify depending on the situation, and to turn down depending on the situation. There's a myriad of ways we can go about this, but really, your first step is getting in touch with that sensation. Okay? Really quick tip this week. I'm excited to hear your stories. If you feel the energy by doing this, send me an email back and say so. Post it on Facebook and say, hey, oh my gosh, Sensei, I can feel it. What in the world is this? If you have any further questions about it, let me know. I would love to do a follow-up video based on what your questions are about this energy. Okay? But I'm really excited to share this with you. Post below, email back, let me know how it's going, and I look forward to seeing you here at the dojo. All right, happy shielding. Mwah!